Yes, Nikki, finally it is time for some cooking. It's not only lunch, I think it's getting closer to dinner already here in Kazan, and I am getting quite hungry. And man, I'm just so lucky today. First beauty therapy, now cooking. I wonder what I did right in my life. But speaking what I did in my life, I actually this skill, this competition is quite close to what I used to do when I was a teenager. When I was 15 years old, at that time I lived on an island of Cyprus, and it was customary for young men to work to help their families, if you will. And one of the jobs that I have was that of an assistant chef in a Chinese restaurant. So definitely this one skill is very interesting, and hopefully I'll get to try some of the dishes, although I was told that this would not be possible and only the judges will be able to do that. Nevertheless, we are in this beautiful Republic of Tatarstan and Kazan, and the food here is quite great. So in any case, I want to tell you a little bit about this competition, about the food that's being prepared here. And as I'm talking to you, I'd like the cameraman to start filming what's happening behind me. You can see the chefs are already in round two in action, and something about this competition in general, a professional chef can work in a wide range of establishments, including high-class restaurants and hotels, welfare catering such as hospitals and residential homes, and industrial sites providing catering services to staff. Well, a range of skills and customer expectations will vary according to the workplace, and there's also a direct relationship between the nature and quality of the service provided and the payment made by the customer or corporate client. As well as the skill of cooking, the role of a chef will also demand further skills that relate to cooking in a commercial setting, and therefore working to a budget or expected profit margin. Now, the skills include menu compilation and costing, controlling correct storage of stock, planning work for self and others, and of course managing a whole kitchen brigade. The chef in a high-class hotel or restaurant offering fine dining will need to demonstrate outstanding skills in food preparation and presentation. They will be expected to create and adapt dishes that meet the expectations of demanding customers who are used to dining in exclusive restaurants. Now, fashions and trends in cuisine fluctuate, so it's important that the top-class chef keeps abreast of these trends and adapts their product and service accordingly. Now, the customer wishing to experience fine dining is expecting a memorable meal experience which incorporates the setting and ambiance of the restaurant. Also restaurant theater and outstanding customer care, as well as exceptional food. Strict maintenance of the highest personal and food hygiene and safety are paramount at all times, wherever they are. Failure to fulfill this requirement can have a devastating impact on diners' health and well-being, and may cause irreparable damage to the restaurant's reputation and business. Now, commercial kitchens are equipped with complex specialist equipment that must be used carefully to avoid accident and injury. Kitchens are potentially dangerous places to work at, so staff work under intense pressure, often in a confined space, working with hot food and dangerous tools and equipment. Effective communication skills are also essential for the chef. A professional kitchen is a high-pressure environment where teams of chefs specializing in various producing aspects of the menu work together to produce the entire meal. Coordination of the kitchen brigade is essential to quality assure the dishes being sent to the restaurant and to meet very tight time frames. In addition, the kitchen team need to work effectively with other departments in the hotel or restaurant to ensure a good overall experience for the guests. And with the globalization of cuisine, chefs can work all over the world. Talented chefs are always in demand and have opportunities to travel and work in some of the most interesting and exciting global destinations. And this carries with it the need to appreciate diverse cultures, especially with regard to dietary requirements and conditions. So this is This is it in a nutshell about the skill that's happening here. And of course, as in every live shot that we had today, we have talked to experts, we have talked to skill competition managers. But now I have a surprise for you, because we are actually going to talk to one of the trainers of one of the competitors, and we'll find out what it takes to prepare for a World Skills event that's held every 2 years, mind you. So I'd like to welcome to our shots Miss Deborah Whitebread. Hi there. Hi, Deborah. Very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for stopping by. So you are from Australia, and you have someone competing here. Can you tell us about the preparation and the heart and soul that you've put into preparing your athlete competitor?
Yeah, he is an athlete. His name's Chris. He's from Sydney. He works at the Star Casino and he trains at Ride TAFE. He won the national competition just over a year ago, and since then we've been training 4 days a week to get him prepared for today's competition. So day one today, very nervous. I'm probably more nervous than he is. He looks pretty calm, but we've been training for this for a long time and he's doing really well. Very proud of him already.
Now, what does it take? Do you know you have certain specifications that must be met, certain requirements, and what goes into actual training?
So you have to be of a certain age to compete at international competitions. So all of these competitors are around about 22 years of age. But to make a fantastic competitor, you've got to be motivated, you've got to be passionate about your industry, and you've got to be willing to take feedback, because obviously competition is very different to industry. You've just got to be at the top of your game, and you've just got to be meticulous in everything that you do. So it's attention to detail, it's making sure your tastes are fantastic, making sure that your cooking methods are spot on. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Can you talk about the partnership that there is between an expert, the trainer, and the competitor, him or herself?
Sure, it's a very close partnership. I've been working with Ianthe Smith, which is the Australian expert, for probably about 12 years in World Skills. This is my first time we've got a competitor to get to international, although she's had a few international competitors. But she has been an expert at international 3 times now, so she could give me very clear mentoring on the training that I needed to do with Chris. So she gave us very clear guidelines of the standards that we need to meet, because there's everything. There's hygiene, there's bench work, there's organisation, there's a certain way that you have to plate up your dishes. So she was with us every step of the way. We both put in a lot of time into training. Most of it is voluntary, but we're happy to do that to support young people. And both of us are experienced chefs, so we're passionate about our industry and we'll do anything we can to support young people.
This sounds absolutely amazing, but since we are at cooking skill right now, if we could talk a little bit more about food, so all our viewers can salivate. Now, you can start salivating right now, people.
Okay.
So what are we cooking?
Okay, so day one, they have to prepare a cream of vegetable soup. In that soup, they have to put egg yolks and they have to put cream. It has to be garnished. Also with day one, they have to do what we call precision cuts. So they have to do some turned vegetables, something called a brunoise, and also a julienne. So that's day one. So with the cream of vegetable soup, Chris is doing a mushroom. So it's got a really good flavour. All of his techniques are spot on, his seasoning's spot on, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him put it up. Tomorrow is the meat day, so they get a mystery meat. They know that it's a beef fillet, so he's got to cook a beef fillet which is going to be poached. He's also got to do a gratinated dish. There's got to be 3 vegetable components and a starch and also a sauce. So that's the day 2. Day 3 is a fish day, so his mystery fish is a salmon, and his mystery spice with that is paprika. So that again, he has to do a sauce, which will be a butter sauce this time, 3 vegetable components, and he's got to use pan frying and steaming. And day 4, he has to prepare a warm cake, which is baked. He has to serve on the same plate a chocolate mousse. He has a mystery fruit, which we now know is a peach, and the mystery nut is a pistachio. So he has all of his components done. We just were waiting to find out what the fruit and the nut and the other mystery ingredients were. So he's very well prepared, so he can adapt all of his components to suit the mystery. So going into the competition, I'm confident with all of his skills and just hope he can do well all the way through. But as I say, I'm proud of him already to get into international level. It's amazing.
Well, I'll get back to you in just a second. Please don't go anywhere. I just want to get camera and get a shot of me. Does it show right now, Nikki, that I am quite hungry, and as soon as this is over, I'm hitting, one of the restaurants, so one of those Meals on Wheels carts around there. How about you, Nikki? How are you feeling?
Well, Roman, Deborah had me at chocolate mousse. Just hit me right there, that chocolate mousse.
Well, I'm going to get back to Deborah right now
Please
again,
do.
because there are a couple more things that I want to discuss. Cooking is, of course, one of the most exciting events here at WorldSkills Kazan. Deborah, have you had a chance to take a look at what the others are doing? Are you allowed to, or what do you think of the level of talent that's present here at WorldSkills? And what do you think about, well, these are basically all young people. This is the future of our cooking.
Yeah,
so can you talk about that?
Sure. Well, all of the competitors have won a gold, silver or bronze at their national competitions in their countries. They are the best of the best in the country when they compete at that level, and then they have to meet certain criteria to get onto their national team. So Chris is what we call a skillaroo. So for him to be part of that team, he had to meet a few challenges along the way. So he had to compete in some other competitions. So he competed in China at the Belt and Road competition. We also had a Global Skills Challenge in Australia. So all of the competitors are at the top of their game. They would have been training very, very hard and looking at the first heat, because cookery is the largest category of WorldSkills. There's 48 competitors. So, to be in that elite group is amazing. So I've seen some of the dishes in the first heat, because there's 2 heats for cookery. So some of the dishes that were put up this morning were exquisite. But then you don't know what goes on behind the scenes, because there's all that blind tasting. You can't just look at a dish and say, that looks fantastic, that's a winner, because you don't know what the hygiene's been like, you don't know what the flavours have been like. So there's so much more that goes into it. Organisation, even the pat down at the end of the day, that's all being marked right the way through. So it's, from the very minute that you step into your kitchen to the very, very end when you leave the kitchen, you're being marked all the time.
Deborah, I don't know if I can say this, but thank you very much for a tasty conversation. Can I say that?
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can.
Thank you so much, and best of luck to you. Best of luck to the rest of the competition, and hopefully one day I'll visit Australia, because I heard the food's there is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, come down anytime. You're more than welcome.
Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Well, there you go. That was our conversation with Deborah Whitebread. She's a trainer for an Australian competitor. Like I said, very tasty conversation. I'm quite hungry at the moment. I'm sure all our viewers are, and all of our staff that's working behind the scenes. So perhaps enough from me right now, and back to you in the studio, Nikki, and please don't feel jealous.